Hello.
Hello,
Yes, hello. How are you?
how are you? How are you?
Yeah. Welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2025, Jos.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And before starting your session, I want to introduce you to our audience, Jos.
Sorry, say again?
Yeah. Before starting your session, I want to introduce you to our audience.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Jos is a seasoned leadership coach, resilience expert, and international speaker with over 35 years in the oil and gas industry, including executive roles at PDVSA and 𝐶IT Petroleum. In 2017, he was unjustly detained in Venezuela as a part of the high profile CIT G06 case and held for nearly 5 years. After his release, he became a strong advocate for the hostage community and now shares his powerful story of resilience and faith. As a founder of Coach as a Survivor LLC, he leads programs on servant leadership, resilience, and post trauma growth. Joes continues to inspire global audiences with his message of hope, purpose, and transformation. Is that person inspiring bio Joes, and the stage is all yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Melinda, for having me. And thank you for all the audience that is connecting today. Um, well, when I was invited to talk to this event, because this event is talking about spirituality and mental health. So I was thinking, okay, my topic resonates with this, but I wanted to think from a leadership point of view what the spirituality and what the mental health should be seen. And there is a word that came to my mind that is a word that everybody has in the mouth. Everybody's always talk about it. That is the resilience. It's a word that you hear it all over the place. Resilience, but for me, the resilience really has a very strong meaning because that is part of what my life is. So today I'm going to talk here in a topic that I decided to call it the unbreakable leadership, building resilience in a high stress world. So why I decided to talk this topic? Because first of all, if you are in a leadership position, no matter what leadership position you are, because you can be a leader in your business, you can be a leader in your community, you can be the leader in your house, in any stand, you can be a leader in your church. So there are many ways that you can be a leader. But something that is real is that today is a very stressed world. And a lot of things going inside and outside. I'm talking here from the US. I live in the US, and everybody knows that there are a lot of things going at the internal and things going at the external. So what has a leader to, to do in today's world? How they handles that stressful situation? So that really needs to have a strong resilience. So that's why a leader has to build resilience. And when I talk about the unbreakable leadership, it's because I always say that everybody has an internal and an inner force. But what you have to do is unleash it. And I'm gonna say why I can talk about it because maybe the people that are hearing me said, okay, that makes sense, but why this guy is talking about this? So let me introduce myself. My name is Jose Pereira, as Melinda introduced me. I was a former oil and gas executive. I worked more than 3 decades in the oil and gas. I began my career in Venezuela in the 80s when the mighty PDVSA was one of the fifth oil and gas companies of the world, of the world. That is not the case today. So, but I was working in one of the most powerful oil and gas companies of the world. And I came here to the US as a NIC and as an expat to the American company that is affiliated. The people that live here in the US is very well known. There is 𝐷𝐞𝐽 Petroleum, because 𝐷𝐞𝐽 Petroleum has here in the US more than 6,000 gas stations all over the US, thousands of kilometers of miles of pipelines, dozens of terminals, and 3 big refineries. 𝐷𝐞𝐽 Petroleum today is the 8th biggest refinery complex here in the US. So I came here, and at the end of my career, I became the CEO of the company. So for me, as an immigrant, being here and becoming the CEO of the company was a big deal. I was really in the pinnacle of my career. But life sometimes gives you some twist that you cannot imagine, because the world is what it is. So now we're talking, that is 2017. We're in 2017. And the things between the US and Venezuela were not going good. They were having a lot of issues between the geopolitical issues, the same thing that is happening today. And I saw the situation and I said, I don't like this, I'm gonna get retired. So I decided to get retired. And in the midst of getting retired, I was called to go to Caracas to make a presentation. And in the middle of a presentation, the counterintelligence of that country, and we became an international hostage. I and my 5 top executives, we became a 5-year hostage in that country, accused to be as spies. So this is me. This is my slide. This is me, and this is my introduction. So why resilience is so important to me today? Because this is the way I could survive. So when I came back after all these years, we became something that for me is key in any leadership position. That is how you can build resilience. We became survivors, and all those tools that we use to survive became the fundamental that what I do today. So I became an international speaker. I became a coach that talks about leadership and resilience. I today have a newsletter called Building Resilience. I today have a podcast called Build Resilience. I wrote my book based on my experience called The Hero to Billion, and I already yesterday published the translation of the book in Spanish, De Héroe a Villano. So I decided to pivot my career and become somebody that talks about how resilience is part fundamental of our leadership, and why, if you're in any leadership position, you need to build it. So I'm going to talk here about some fundamentals, that how you can build the resilience in your business. So put that next slide. Going to the next slide, I'm going to say that one of the most important things, can you turn the slide, please? So one of the most important things in building the resilience is exactly that you can, sorry, but I need the next slide. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna say thanks to the audience that hearing this, because we're gonna explore how we can build resilience. Go to the next slide, please. In today's world, there are a lot of things that are stressful in the leadership. Here in the US, everybody hears about the tariff wars. You know, the tariff war between the US and China, between Canada and the US, between the European Union and the US. All this thing that is happening with the tariff is creating an environment very complex for the leadership. Here in the US also there is the immigration gridlock. Everybody knows there's a lot of things going here with the immigration. And now we have the war. We had the war in the Middle East with Hamas and Israel, but we had also the Ukrainian and the Russian war, and now we have the Iranian and the Israeli war. So the war is making the world really, really tough. So this is the new normal. This is the new environment where the leader has to handle the business. So the question for you is, in that context, a real leader has to make him the question, what can I control? Because even though this situation is real, is affecting all the companies, is affecting all the businesses, you need to understand what of these things you can control and the things that you cannot control. Please put me the next slide. If we go to the next slide, so something happened in the connection. So sorry the interruption. So I was here in the definition of resilience. Resilience, the people talk about that when you fall and fail, you bounce back. But resilience is much more than that, because resilience is not only bouncing back. Resilience is bouncing back stronger and bouncing back and moving forward. Because one of the things that the beauty of the resilience is that you can convert a setback in a real comeback. And this is something that we were tested. We learned it when we went through our captivity. Because I already, by that time, had more than 30 years in the oil and gas. I truly knew how to handle leadership positions. But really, I was not prepared for that, what's going to happen to me during the next 5 years. So I'm here to say to you, to the leader, that when the floor that supports you begins to move and all the walls begin to crumble, there where you're going to be tested. When you're pushed from your comfort zone is where you're going to discover if you are resilient or not. Because when everything is normal, everybody can be a leader. In a normal situation, anybody can be a leader. But when the situation is going wrong, is where you have to understand if you're a leader or you're not a leader. So I'm going to come here to give you four pillars how you can build resilience. Please put me the next slide. The next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Well, so now we have the first pillar is called the determination and the adaptability. What is the determination and what is the adaptability? This is the first pillar to build resilience, because the determination is that fuel that infuses you to keep going. Because you can be resilient, but if you don't have determination, that doesn't work. So determination is what it's like when you go into the gas station and you begin to fill your car. because that is what makes you keep going. Determination is the force that no matter what circumstance you're going in your life, it keeps you going. So the real leaders that are resilient are those that no matter what's going on, they keep going. They can fall and bounce back and keep going, fall and bounce back and keep going. So there's where you really see if you are a true resilient leader or not. Adaptability. The adaptability is the secret sauce to the leadership today. In the today world, in the today situation, with all these things going with the war, with the tariff, with the immigration, with everything that's going in the US and in the world, the only way that you can make your business continue is being adapting to the situation. So the true leaders are those that can adapt to the situation. And when I was going through my captivity, for us was kind of the anchor of our survival, adapting to the situation. We went through a lot of extreme situations, but we decided to stay stick and adapt to whatever we were going. And that's what a true leader does. When a leader can adapt to no matter what the circumstance, no matter what's going on, he adapts. That inspires his team, that inspiring the people that are surrounding him, and that's what makes him be a leader that everybody wants to follow. So that's for me the secret sauce of the leadership. Let's go to the next slide, please. Next slide. So now that a leader is determined and is adaptive, the second pillar is you need to be calm and focused under any circumstance. Any leader that wants to be really a resilient leader needs to be calm and needs to be focused. Why is it so important? Be calm, because when you are calm, no matter where you're going, you can see the things for with more clarity. Even sometimes when you're having a hard time, maybe you have the solution in your front and you don't see it because you're not having clarity. When you have clarity, maybe you had the solution there, or maybe you don't have the solution, but now you have the path to have the solution. So that's why it's so important. Be calm and be focused. Be focused in the situation. I was talking about the question that a leader has to do to itself. What can I control? Because when you determine what you can control and what you cannot control, is that you can determine how are the circumstances that you can manage. Why? Because, for example, you having a business, and all the things with the tariff, it begins to affect your business. So now you're having problems with the logistics, with the distribution channels, with the merchandise, with the stock. So everything can be going crazy. Or, for example, the war that is happening today is affecting you. In the oil and gas, it's very common that anything related to a war immediately begin to impact in the oil prices. So in the refinery sector, that can blow up the margins. So you can see that a spike in the prices of the gas, and that is a ripple effect in the economy. So what of that you can control as a leader? Maybe not too much. So what have you to do? Monitor it, try to, but you cannot influence it. So why you're gonna get depression in something that you cannot influence? So that's why it's so important being calm and focused. And there are a lot of techniques. I heard somebody in one of the speech this morning talking about techniques of breathing. Having morning journalings, breathing, meditations. There are many things that keep you grounded and focused. Let's go to the next slide. So now that you're determined, now that you're focused, now that you're calm, now that you are adapted to whatever is going, that creates you a moment that your mind begins to shift. You begin to have the positive and purpose leaded mindset. When a leader gets to that stage that even no matter what is going in the business or on the life, he knows where he wants to go. You begin to just see the things in a more positive way. I'm gonna here to say that when I was in my captivity, we went to this stage. We were in a very dark moment, but at some point we said, okay, we need to survive. We need to come back in one piece, in body, soul, and spirit to our family, and that made us a mindset change because now we begin to understand that we cannot control the situation we were going. We left that to our families. So we begin to take care of ourselves, our physical and our mental health, and take care or cultivating our spirituality. So there's where we get here to the spirituality and the mental health. Because sometimes the leader don't take care of these things. And there's where the problem begins in the leadership. There's where you see leaders that get depressed, leaders that can commit suicide, leaders that fail in their business, leaders that they feel that they are lost because they don't find their purpose. Because one of the things that you need to understand that anything that you do in your life, you need to know your why. So if you're today hearing me, I'm gonna here to say you that you need to find your why. You need to find it. Let's go to the next slide, please. So once you are positive, you can have a proper balance in your life, and there's where comes that exactly what today I train. I have this coaching program that talks about how you can make a balance in your business and your personal life because this is key in the leadership. Have a balance between your business and have a balance between your life. Have that combination. And that's what is going to make you not only be a successful leader, be a joyful leader. Because one of the things the leader has to cultivate is not only being successful in their business, have the balance. When you go to your house, have a balance with your family, have your balance with your kids, have your balance with your spirituality. I today go to do a church service. So have a balance in your life. That's what's going to make you be more joyful. Put me the next slide, please. So all what I'm saying, please, the next slide. So all what I'm saying goes to the final pillar, that is the fifth pillar. Please, the next slide. Okay, so goes to the final pillar. That is cultivation, that relation between the people that you love and your spirituality. Cultivating the faith in a superior entity that is who follows, who is what makes things happen. Because this is something that I discovered in my life, that I thought that I was a successful guy because of me. I never thought that I deserved it because I was connected with the grace of God. And today, I'm here to say that a leader needs to get connected to that superiority and connected to the people that you love, because that is the people that are going to support you. When I was in my captivity, that was made my anchor, my support. That's what made me going. And when I came back, I today teach about this because this became for me a calling to help others. That then you don't have to be a hostage. You don't have to go to my situation, but you can be hostage of your belief. You can be hostage of your situation. And I'm here to say that I'm here to help. Put me the next slide, please. So I want you to take to home and reflect. Reflect how you are doing today. All what I told you, if it resonates to you, put me the next slide. You can contact me. This is in the left. This is my coaching program. Take a photo of all my contacts. I have here all my contacts, my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube. I have today a YouTube channel where I have my podcast. Has more than 20 plus thousand followers. Very engaging. The podcast that I do every week talk talking about building resilience called Building Resilience. I talk a lot about leadership. I have my newsletter. They talk that. Next slide, please. Next slide. And finalizing, if you want to contact me, this is my QR code. You can schedule a call there. I already published my book. What you see there is where this book won the International Award of the Best Memoir 2025. This is the English version, and yesterday I published the Spanish version. So if you want to contact me, I'm here to help. This is my QR code, and I'm here to answer any question that you have. Thank you for having me, Melinda. So I'm open to any question. Melinda, I'm open to any question. Okay, here you see the two books. That's in the left. This is the English version. In the right, the Spanish version. So I today have the book in Spanish and in English. If anybody wants to contact me, you go to Amazon and you can have it. I'm gonna have open during this week the Spanish version in Kindle free. And you want to contact me, this is my QR code. You can take it there and book a session with me. I'm happy to help. Happy to help. So Melinda, if anybody wants, I see some questions in the
Yes,
chat. I
yes,
don't know if
Jose.
you.
Yeah, thank you for your valuable time, Jose. And we have a few questions from our audience, Jose. I want to ask you one
Mhm.
of them. How can leaders build terms with real relational trust?
Sorry, say again. How
How
can
can
leaders?
leaders build teams with real relational trust?
Okay, that's a very good question. Yeah, you know, that leader, that's a great question, because one of the most important things in a leader is be human. When you are human, you are empathetic with a person. You understand the persons. Even if anything is going wrong, you can be more empathetic and have a better communication with them. So when you do that, you begin to build trust. The people begin to rely on you. You begin to be trustful, and the people begin to be loyal to you, because now they trust you and they are loyal.
Thank you for your answer, Jose. And we have few more questions from our audience. We will post it to your email.
I want, okay, my email, let me put it here. Okay, the chat is my email.
Yeah, thank you for sharing and thank you for your valuable time, Jose. And beyond the backstage, and please join in the next session.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Anybody that want to contact me, and as I said, you can go joseconnect.com is my webpage. If you didn't scan the QR code, I'm gonna give me a chance to put here my webpage so they can go to the webpage and contact me there. There is you go joseconnect.com, and you can find me there. You can find me in LinkedIn. As I said, I have the weekly newsletter. I have my podcast. I always are sharing things related to leadership and resilience that is part of my mission today, help others. So I'm very open to anybody that wants to contact with me. Thank you, Melinda.
Yeah, thank you so much.